Hello friends, I am Lalita Palange. Today here we will learn our first chapter of subject RMA, that is microwave transmission line. So today's content we will be seeing, that is types of transmission line, microwave frequency band, characteristics and applications of microwave and microwave hazards. So very first thing is that all of you must know about what is meant by transmission line. So everybody is knowing about our today's day-to-day life is based on the various communication medias or systems. So the transmission line is a conductor which is designed to carry the signal over large distance with minimum losses and distortion. So at microwave frequencies, the transmission lines can be classified into three types, and they are as belows: multi-conductor line. So under this we have coaxial line, strip lines, microstrip lines, slot lines. Then the another one type is waveguides. Under this it covers rectangular waveguides and circular waveguides. So first of all we'll see the coaxial line. So the transmission line which has more than one conductor are called as a multi-conductor lines. So under this we have one type, that is coaxial line, or we can say the coaxial cable. This is one of the mostly used for high frequency application. Here in this diagram you can observe it consists of the circular shape, and this diagram is showing the cross sectional view of coaxial line. So this outer circle is the outer conductor, inner circle which indicate the inner conductor with the diameter small d, and outer diameter is capital D. And here is the portion of the insulator. So the coaxial cable consisting of an inner conductor surrounded by a concentric conducting shield with the two separated by a dielectric or insulating material. Many coaxial cables also have a protective outer shield or jacket. The term coaxial refers to the inner conductor and the outer shield sharing a geometric axis. Coaxial cable is a type of transmission line used to carry high frequency electrical signals with low losses. It is used in such applications as telephone trunk lines, broadband internet networking cables, high speed computer data buses, cable television signals, and connecting radio transmitters and receivers to their antennas. It differs from other shielded cables because the diameters of the cable and connectors are controlled to give a precise constant conductor spacing which is needed for it to function efficiently as a transmission line. The coaxial cable was first used in 1858 and in many applications we are using the same. So now we'll see the next type, that is strip lines, which is the one of the type of the transmission lines. These are the planar transmission lines used at the frequencies from 100 megahertz to 100 gigahertz. So here it is the diagram which is showing the view of strip line transmission line, so which is having the two ground plane, and here in between we have the insulator. Here it is a center conductor which is placed over there. So strip line is a transverse electromagnetic transmission line. You can say it's a TEM line medium invented by Robert M. Barrett of the Air Force Cambridge Research Center in 1950. Strip line is the earliest form of planar transmission line. A strip line circuit uses a flat strip of metal which is sandwiched between two parallel ground planes. The insulating material of the substrate form a dielectric. The width of the strip, the thickness of the substrate, and the relative permittivity of the substrate determine the characteristic impedance of the strip, which is a transmission line. As shown in this diagram, the center conductor need not be equally spaced between the ground planes. In general case, the dielectric material may be different above and below the central conductor. To prevent the propagation of unwanted modes, the two ground planes must be shorted together. This is commonly achieved by a row of wires running parallel to the strip on each side. Like coaxial cable, strip line is non-dispersive and has no cutoff frequency. Good isolation between adjacent traces and can be achieved most easily than with microstrip. So now we'll see the next type of the transmission line, that is microstrip lines. So here you can observe the diagram for microstrip. So microstrip is a type of electrical transmission line which can be fabricated using printed circuit board technology and is used to convey microwave frequency signals, which consist of strip separated from a ground plane by a dielectric layer known as the substrate. Microwave components such as antennas, couplers, filters, power dividers, etc., can be formed from microstrip, with the entire device existing as the pattern of metallization on the substrate. Microstrip is thus much less expensive than traditional waveguide technology, as well as being far lighter and more compact. Microstrip was developed by IIT Laboratories as a competitor to Stripline. The disadvantage of microstrip compared with waveguide are the generally lower power handling capacity and higher losses. Also, unlike waveguide, microstrip is not enclosed and is therefore susceptible to crosstalk and unintentional radiation. For lowest cost, microstrip devices may be built on an ordinary FR4 standard PCB substrate. However, it is often found that the dielectric losses in FR4 are too high at microwave frequencies and that the dielectric constant is not sufficiently tightly controlled. For these reasons, an alumina substrate is commonly used. On a smaller scale, microstrip transmission lines are also built into monolithic microwave integrated circuits. Microstrip lines are used in high speed digital PCB designs where signals need to be routed from one part of the assembly to another with minimal distortion and avoiding high crosstalk and radiation. So now we'll see the next type, that is the slot line transmission line. It consists of a slot or gap in the conducting coating on a dielectric substrate, and this fabrication process is identical to the microstrip line. The following diagram is represents the slot line, transmission line. Here a small narrow slot is etched out on one side of dielectric substrate from ground plane metal surface. The other side will not have any metallic stuff. The width W determines the slot line characteristic impedance. The impedance increases with increase in width, that is W, and is less sensitive to height of the substrate. It is a two conductor transmission line with major electric field component oriented across the slot. Hence, it does not support a TEM mode. The electromagnetic wave travel along the slot line, which encounters substrate and air as a medium for the transmission, and hence effective dielectric constant is equal to average of the both. There are various methods to determine characteristic impedance and losses of the slot line. So some of the advantages of the slot line are it has higher order modes are possible to be realized. It's easy to fabricate and troubleshoot. It can be etched along with microstrip line on same PCB. And disadvantages are slot line is relatively lossy compared to other lines. It cannot be used for broadband circuit design as it supports only T mode. So now next we'll see the next type of transmission line, that is waveguide. The mostly used for the transmission. These can also be stated as open electromagnetic waveguides. A waveguide is not entirely enclosed in a metal shielding, can be considered as an open waveguide. Free space is also considered as a kind of open waveguide. A waveguide is a structure that guides waves such as electromagnetic waves or sound with minimal loss of energy by restricting the transmission line of energy to one direction. Without the physical constraint of a waveguide, wave amplitude decreases according to the inverse square law as they expand into three-dimensional space. There are different types of waveguides for different types of waves. The original and most common meaning is a hollow metallic conductive metal pipe used to carry high frequency radio waves, particularly microwaves. Dielectric waveguides are used at higher radio frequencies, and transparent dielectric waveguides and optical fibers serve as waveguides for light. In acoustics, air ducts and horns are used as waveguides for sound in musical instruments and loudspeakers, and specially shaped metal rods conduct ultrasonic waves in ultrasonic machining. So there are basically two types mostly used for the waveguide. So one is a rectangular waveguide and another one is the circular waveguide. So here you can observe the diagram of the rectangular waveguide. So here the shape of the waveguide is a rectangular, a hollow metallic tube of uniform cross section of transmitting electromagnetic waves by successive reflections from inner walls of the tube is called as the waveguide. The rectangular waveguide is basically characterized by its dimension, that is length and breadth. So rectangular waveguide is conducting. The walls of waveguide confine the electromagnetic fields and thereby guide the electromagnetic waves. The electromagnetic waveguides are analyzed by solving Maxwell's equations or their reduced form. The electromagnetic wave equation with boundary conditions determined by the properties of materials and their interfaces. These equations have multiple solutions or modes which are eigenfunctions of the equation system. So waveguide propagation modes depend on operating wavelength and polarization and the shape and size of the guide. The modes of the waveguide are typically classified into three types. TE mode, that is transverse electric, which has no electric field component in the direction of the propagation. Second type is TM mode, transverse magnetic, which has no magnetic field component in the direction of propagation. And the third one is TEM mode, transverse electromagnetic, which have neither electric nor magnetic field component in the direction of the propagation. So here you can see the various types of waveguides: rectangular waveguide, circular waveguide, elliptical waveguide, then single reached waveguide, double reached waveguide. So depending upon the application or the requirement, we are going to use the various types of the waveguides. So these are some advantages of waveguide. Waveguides are easy to manufacture. They can handle very large power. Power loss is very negligible in waveguides. They offer very low loss when microwave energy travels through waveguide. It experiences lower losses than a coaxial cable. Now the next part is microwave frequency band. So these are some of the bands which specify the range of the frequencies. So here HF band, which has the frequency range 3 to 30 megahertz, very high frequency band 30 to 300 megahertz, ultra high frequency band 300 to 1000 megahertz, L band 1 to 2 gigahertz, S band 2 to 4 gigahertz, C band 4 to 8 gigahertz, X band 8 to 12 gigahertz, Ku band 12 to 18 gigahertz, K band 18 to 27 gigahertz, Ka band 27 to 40 gigahertz, V band 40 to 75 gigahertz, W band 75 to 110 gigahertz, and band 110 to 300 gigahertz. So here it is the chart of electromagnetic spectrum, which is showing some of the applications, and they are using a particular band of the frequency. So here you can see the various applications. Here it is the X-ray, then cosmology, then scanning, then radar for mobile phones, for FM, for radio. So various applications, microwave ovens, which is using the frequency of 2.4 gigahertz. Then wireless devices, TV broadcast using 64 to 100 megahertz. So characteristics of microwaves. Microwaves are having increased bandwidth availability. It has improved directive property and transparency property of the microwave are the characteristics. These are the applications of microwaves where you are using the microwave signals. So first era is wireless communication for long distance telephone calls, Bluetooth, WiMAX operation, outdoor broadcasting transmissions, broadcast auxiliary services, remote pickup unit, studio transmitter link, direct broadcast satellite, DBS, personal communication system, PCS, wireless local area networks, WLANs, cellular video CVCV systems, then automobile collision avoidance system, then some of the electronics applications, fast jitter free switches, phase shifters, HF generation, tuning elements, ECCM, that is electronic counter machine, electronic countermeasure system, then spread spectrum system, then next application at the commercial uses, burglar alarms, garage door openers, police speed detectors, identification by non-contact methods, cell phones, pagers, wireless LANs, satellite television, XM radio, motion detector, remote sensing, then navigation, global navigation satellite systems, global positioning system, that is GPS, military radars to detect the range and speed of the target, sonar application, air traffic control, weather forecasting, navigation of ships, mine sweeping applications, speed limit